Hello guys, so welcome back to another session of learning Unity with me. I think last time we left off at implementing our level, or our, not level, I'm sorry, it's our score system. And so far, I think what we have is our game session object, which has its own game session script. And then we also have a score script in our score text script, just so that we can change the script for it. So yeah, let's get started. So this is what we have so far for game session, and the challenge is trying to figure it out. So I will take the time to kind of figure it out on my own. If I can't do it within, let's say, 30 minutes, and then I'll see how he does it. Alright, so so the reason why I need these cache references is so that we need to get the enemy, but I'm not sure if this is the right way of doing it. We might just wait a minute, I just had an idea. Why do we need a game session script? Couldn't we just, place the score in the enemy like this? The enemy has its min and high score value, and there's a value here. So basically when the character dies, destroy enemy. So when they die, we want to change the score. So let's go ahead and do that. Private score, and let's also go to the score. Wait, why is it saying text mesh? Oh, right. It's saying that I'm missing a namespace. Oh yeah, I need a namespace. Hold up. Let's see what namespace that is. Text mesh pro UGUI Unity. What's the namespace? What's it called? Oh, using TM Pro. Save that. Run this. There you go. Set score. Yeah. So first find an object. Score equals find object of type score. And then, yeah, I think that's fine. And then just say score.set score. And we just need to pass in the score value. Alright, let's see. Alright, it does change it, but I guess we should initialize the score first to 0, so let's go ahead and do that first. Get component. You know what? Let's just make a cache reference, since we're going to be. It seems like we're going to be using it a lot. It will be So now the issue is we need to append the score as opposed to set the score. So we had to add score. First we gotta get, so we have to do some calculation here. So int add score equals int score text plus score. Then we do add score to string. We can't cast it? Ah, man. Alright, so how do we do that? Int 32 parse. Do I need any libraries, perhaps? Nope. I feel like this is the reason why we don't add it. Oh, it works. Never mind. I guess it doesn't matter here because what was it saying? Line 3? Oh. I think it doesn't matter if we include here because we're not using the random, and it doesn't need to get confused which random method it needs to call, either from the Unity engine or the system library. So I guess right here it doesn't matter if we use it or not. Alright, let's see if it works. Oh yeah, we need to change this as well. So add value. Did I make it private? I made it public. What? I keep forgetting. It's capital P. And score does not contain a definition for add value. Oh, well, add value, I'm gonna add score. Alright, let's see this in action. I'm done. Let me watch the video again just to see what he wanted. Maybe I'm missing something. Oh wait, let me just...
In this video we're implementing...
So yeah, I forgot. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. So let's go to scenes. Game over scene. We have to add in a new text. Let's see how that looks. I bet in full screen. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, so now I guess that's what the game session's for. It's to be able to pass through the thing. Alright. Because I think the score script should be only for the game. So we need, for the game session, we need to keep account of the score. Alright, so we're able to change the score, but now the question is, I guess I should be asking myself, how do we keep the score in memory so that we can access it in our other script? I remember him saying that game session will be of a singleton, so it'll be passed throughout all 3 scenes that we have so far. So that definitely is a clue as to how we're going to implement it. We need game session script to be able to store the score of the recent playthrough, so that it will be so that when we are in our game over scene, it'll grab that value from our game session script, which, you know, is uses the don't destroy on load, so it's carried throughout all the different scenes. And yeah, but how do we go about and do that? So in our score script, we were able to add score to the score text, but now we want to be able to store that somewhere in the game session. Let me watch the video again to see what, and I think I will need a hint. Score display. So we have a text. So our score text, we have a score text, we have a game session, and then we score text.text. So we want to update the score. Oh, I see. I think this is good enough as a hint. I don't need to see everything else, because I noticed that game session has a get score script, so the score is actually being stored in the game session object. We need to so in our score script, well, all we need to do is just update the value based on that score in our game session. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. So we have our game session. So we don't need this, and we definitely don't need that. Actually, we do need to put this over here. I'm kind of confused as to why he used text. I mean, I think in here he's probably not using Text Mesh Pro, which is probably why. So I think this is fine the way I handled it. So it would be score text dot text equals game session dot get score. To string. Alright, cool. So in our game session, we're going to have So we need to hold a score value, I guess, be the variable. Into score value. So I was wrong about not having an update here. I always thought that you just need to update the score whenever an enemy gets destroyed, so I thought like, that doesn't need to happen every frame. So logically I just thought we didn't need an update. But I guess it works. I mean, I think there's more ways to handle it. Yeah. So let's see, get score. We just need to return score value. We'll make this private. I don't think we need that. I don't think we need that. What is score text? Do we need a start? I wonder. Because it has the singleton script. I guess that's the extra code, but we minimalized it, so now we only need to implement this part. Because this part has the game session score text, so it updates the score text value. And this one, we add a score to the game session, and then it updates. So the logic goes like this: enemy. But this is kind of happening in like a different thread, where it's always updating the text string. Right now it's currently 0. Should be 0 in the beginning. You got to initialize it, or else this wouldn't be possible. So it's going to be saying 0, and then once an enemy dies, it calls on this method, and since there's only one object that gets passed through all the different scenes, it's going to stay consistent throughout all the scene, as opposed to restarting every new scene if we were to destroy the game session object each scene. But in this case we don't, so then that's why it gets carried over to the other scenes. So then we have to apply the score script here. Oh, I guess we do make a prefab out of it, don't we? Prefabs, let's go to canvas, score text, I guess. Go to game over, canvas. Delete. Get our prefab, score text, towards bottom, put it towards the center, and there you go. This should be 0. Actually, there's no game session. There's no game session here. So yeah, we need to apply game session in all of them. So let's go back to the game scene. Oh, there's a game session prefab. See if it's the same. It just has a script. And I keep forgetting to reset the transform. I bet that's gonna bite me in the butt later on. But anyways, game session start. Game session. All right, let's see this in action. Seems to work. I'm thinking I should increase the size of it, or I don't know. Yeah, it works, but it needs to be reset when we hit try again. So it's not 30 minutes yet, so we can at least try to implement that logic, I guess. But how do we go about and do that? Maybe if we hit the try again button. So we need to edit the script for the level management. Yeah, so load game over scene, that's fine. I don't think we need to mess with that. When we load the start scene, that's for sure. We're gonna have to reset the score. Alright, so how do we go about and do that? How do we reset the score from the low? I don't think it's necessary to put it in there now. Yeah, so I mean, we made it to a script, so we don't need to worry about doing that part. Alright, but how would we reset the value? What I'm thinking, like, I don't think it's necessary to put it in here because it doesn't have anything to do with it. We need to figure out, like in our game session script, how to handle resetting the score value, right? So unless, what we can do is have like reset score and score value equals 0, and in our level session, actually no, maybe that could work. Do we have a game session, and then private void start game session dot equals find object of type game session, and then when we load the start menu or the game scene, we will do game session dot reset score. Alright, let's see it work out. Let's see how it works. Null reference. Load game scene. Huh. Will that work? score is adding up pretty nicely. We get the score. We hit try again. It doesn't change. Oh yeah, wait, let me see something. Is the game session a singleton? Yeah, it is a singleton. I mean, it makes sense. It should have been a singleton. Alright, we still have 2 more minutes. So it didn't work probably because what I'm thinking is that the level manager is different. But the game session should be the same no matter what, because it's the only one that should be available. Let me check the singleton script. If I made sure to deactivate it. Yeah, I did. I said active. Why is it still saying this? Oh yeah, because I haven't changed it yet. So we can just ignore that for now. Alright, it's already 30 minutes, so let's just continue on. Oh, reset game, destroy the game object. Oh, that makes sense. That makes much more sense. Because then if it gets destroyed, everything else does reset. Instead of resetting the score, why not just reset everything, just to be safe? But I'm not sure how much CPU usage it takes to destroy something. So then in our level manager, let me see if that solves the R issue. It did not. He doesn't reset the transform. I'm gonna speed a little bit more considering he's just basically setting everything up, and yeah. Which makes sense because we want to destroy this game session so that we can start a new session. New game session. Oh yeah, I think that's one thing that we should also update. Um, in our score script, we don't need this anymore because it's already at 0 and it'll just update it to 0 when it starts. So that'd be kind of overkill. Did I? Oh yeah. Okay. I said audio related. So what I'm seeing or what I'm noticing is that like we need to use a singleton on game sessions. So if our game is kind of like an arcade type style or style of game, we need to have a game session to keep account of our scores throughout the different levels. So I guess that's one thing to note if I ever decide to make a game like that. Wait, why doesn't mine work like that? Find object type, and then game session dot reset game. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't go to 0. That's the weird part. I'm guessing is that let's see what is going on. Why isn't it working? I wonder if he ever, because the score then only resets only when we go to the start menu. Oh, we only do it for load game. Makes sense, since every time we go to the game scene, that's when we want to load it. Yeah, that's true. It says object reference not set to an instance of an object. Line 31. Alright, the reason why, or I'm not exactly sure why that is, because I figured that'd be the same thing, right? We load a level manager each new level, or scene, rather. So when we get to the game over scene, heck, no, actually, wait. When we go from start to game, it would try to find the game session. At the start. Maybe that's the reason why. It's just the life cycle that's happening. So when I tried to get it in the beginning, maybe it's not found because it gets destroyed or something like that. That's why it doesn't work. That's why by doing it like this, it actually happens later down in the life cycle, allowing it to give more time to access the don't destroy unload one, as opposed to the local version of it. Alright, I guess, yeah. I really need to understand the life cycle of stuff. What's the next one? Display player health. Let me see if there's any question Q&A that'll help me understand stuff. Alright, let's see what's this. The game session object wasn't in the start menu scene. I'm pretty sure that was the only problem. I am just at the end of the lecture. When I start the main game, an error pops up. Oh, I get that too. Object reference not set to an instance. When I click the highlights code, I think I wrote exactly what Rick wrote. I found the problem being that reset game function was called the first time starting the game from the start menu. Still not sure how to fix it though. Bjorn, can you please mark this as unsolved, because actually you figured out where the problem is, but the problem still exists. So it's still considered unsolved, and I'm also experiencing this problem, and we would like to hear a few options from Nick. And well, I thought I solved it by adding the game session object to the start menu scene as it says under update. We'll mark it unsolved for now if I misunderstood anything. Bjorn, okay, so I solved the problem. It's the exact one you're having. It's find objects of type. Now you see the S? Wait, did I have that? Did I just put find object? No, I said find object of type. Oh, I guess they were trying to do this. I guess they meant that. Yes, there's a null reference exception for not having game session in the main menu screen. Another way to fix this is to add a null object check in level.cs in the load game scene method. Alright, let's see. Null reference, I'm guessing it has something to do with this. Scene not updated in the game over scene. What? I use the same code as Rick does, and the score is not updated. I think alright. Let's see. I had some weird experience implementing the singleton pattern we use in the game session to display the score. Actually, I had doubts if it's really necessary. Its implementation, at least in particular case. I think it's necessary. I don't think it was necessary for the. Actually, no, the music was necessary to have that continuous play of the game. If we only have added the game session object in the game scene, and then we call don't destroy, then there's no need to be checking if we have more than one instance, is it? Since the moment we enter the game scene, that object will be passed to the next scene. From that scene, the only thing you can happen to the game scene, the game session object, is to be destroyed. Play again or main menu, right? So next time we're in the game scene, the whole process will start again. There are never more than one instance object in a process. I remove the setup singleton and it works perfectly. I get it, I think. So basically we only need the game session object to exist in the game scene. Because by the time we reach to the game over scene, which is the only scene that comes after, we're going to press try again, which destroys it, and then makes a new one that doesn't get destroyed. I wonder how he gets the score to display on the game over scene. if he only uses one game session, which is in the game scene. There was already one instance in the score display started when I was retrieving the game session with I got always the object that was destroyed and not the I think that we really needed to save reference the instance is supposed to be. So my real question is, does find object by type is really a good solution to retrieve since it's supposed to be by type? Thanks for the help. The issue is that it's a bad singleton. It has two major flaws. If there's more than one of them gets destroyed. There's no guarantee about which one. It seems like it should always be the new one, but I think I've seen cases where it wasn't, probably due to user error. But one where the singleton should have offered protection. More importantly, there's a delay in destroying an object, so fall during start and first update you can actually have two or more in the scene. That's why your find game object finds the wrong one. It's important to understand the concept of singleton and how and why they are used, but this is not the proper way to do it. Ben, oh, it's 3 years ago. Ben used to teach another one, but it confused a lot of people, including myself. I think that's why with this one, they use simple math logic we can understand quickly. Now that I know more, I would prefer using actual singletons, but I guess I can look it up on my own when I need to. Alright. Oh, I didn't realize it's already 1 hour. Yeah, so I guess my question was why. I guess I should post it in my question. But like basically, I tried to cache the reference of the game session in the level manager at the start, but it didn't work out. I'm guessing it's because of the destroy, and it has something to do with the singleton, I believe, and it's referencing the one that got destroyed as opposed to the one that I want, which is the don't destroy and load, and that's why it didn't work, or it returned a null because it got destroyed. That's why it didn't work properly, which is why this is better, or not better, but like this made it work, because by the time we load the game scene, which is like either in the beginning or the end, it should have destroyed the object already, and we are referencing the correct game session object. Hopefully, in the future lecture or down the line, we figure out a much better way to access it instead of like, I wouldn't say like yeah, I wouldn't say like randomly, but like sometimes it feels like that, to be honest. Like when I was setting up the music player, it said that it got deleted, but then I'm trying to reference the actual music player, not the other one. So yeah, but I like the introduction to the singleton. It actually helps me kind of understand a little bit more about design patterns and stuff. And yeah, alright, well, I think that's it for today. I unfortunately couldn't figure some stuff out, but that's part of learning. Struggling to learn, struggling is part of learning. So yeah, alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.